T.I. went on a program and he was being interviewed by Joy Behar. And she asked him a question about Chris Brown. So let me roll that clip and I'll get into why I have a certain opinion about that.
Acquaintance of Chris Brown?
I've known him ever since he came into the business.
Mm-hmm. My producers want to know what you think about the fact that he's back with Rihanna.
I think that's their decision.
That's their decision.
That's their decision. You know.
You think it's going to work?
I mean, I know they have a lot of genuine love for one another. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't think that either of them would leave the other, go somewhere else and find someone that would make them as happy.
But he did hurt her. He did.
Course,
yeah. I mean, you wouldn't let one of your daughters go out with him, would you?
Absolutely not. But if my daughter's grown, what can I say?
If they're grown, you can't stop them, I know.
Exactly.
So if you're looking at the title of the video, which talks about T.I. and Chris Brown, you definitely came to the right place to hear my opinion on that. But I'm also going to another area of this commentary that you probably weren't expecting me to go to in relation to Chris Brown. Well, let's first address the particular comment. If you watch T.I., if you know the way T.I. is about his children, you watch his show, The Family Hustle, he's like that about his daughter. It didn't matter if it was Chris Brown or any other guy, he is very overprotective of his children, period, male and female. So I would not expect no other reaction out of T.I. than the one that he gave on a particular program. The fathers who are overprotective of their daughters going to respond that way. But also he did add, well, if she wants to do that, she's grown, what could I really do to stop it? But his sentiments, no. And also his sentiments about Chris Brown is he know he's a person in the industry. He know he got access to all these females coming at him 24/7. Now really as a father, do you want your daughter being with a guy like that? No. Because he probably going to break your daughter's heart. She will find out he was fooling one of these hoes. Because these females don't care if you got a woman, a wife, girl. They don't care. They just want to get a piece of you. That's it. Just to say they did it. Just to go on Twitter and say, hey, I had sex with him. They don't care if it hurts your family or hurt anything. But at the same time, you should have sense enough not to fool women like that. You already know what you're going to get caught up with. Anyway, the point that I got an issue with and the shot that was taken at Chris Brown. Not so much what T.I. said, because if you know T.I. enough, you know he's going to respond that way by his daughter anyway. Joy Behar has said, what did he think about Chris Brown and Rihanna? Now, what that had to do with anything of his interview? Why did you have to bring up Chris Brown and Rihanna? Why did you even have to say that would you let Chris Brown date your daughter? Why couldn't she say, would you let anybody in the music industry date your daughter? That's all he had to say. Why she had to single out Chris Brown? Now, brother Harvey Superboy has been doing a lot of videos about how media, the mainstream media, is trying to take shots at Chris Brown all the time. You know, I've heard his videos and he right about it. They are. He do have a bullseye. Harvey's right. I can't say he's wrong. But this lady took a chance to try to use a relevant black male celebrity to take a shot at this brother, and she did it in a subliminal way that if you wasn't smart, if you wasn't knowing the game, you would have fell into that question. And T.I. did not fall into that question because T.I. know the game. He's from the streets. See, mainstream media always want to get high-profile black men to go against each other, try to divide against each other. This is why I was very bothered by Rob Parker and the RG3 thing. It's because you're always trying to use a brother to try to discredit or talk down to another brother. And T.I. did not do that. T.I. really just danced around the question and said what anybody would say. That's their business. Who cares? But every time you look up, you're mentioning that man's name. Every single time. Chris Brown and Rihanna. It'd be a sports show. Chris Brown and Rihanna. It'd be a show about cooking. Chris Brown and Rihanna. Like, why don't you start bringing Chris Brown's name up? Chris Brown did what he did. He got charged. He got a penalty for that. He did his debt to society. Now, when you have a debt to society, that means you're punished. And you meet your punishment, you're free to go. You're a free man, you're a free woman. Nobody needs to talk about it anymore. But yet, every chance they get in mainstream media, they always try to take a shot at Chris Brown. Also, because Chris Brown is targeted the way he is now, I think he needs to do like Usher. Make his albums, do his tours, fall back. Nobody know what he's doing. Because I would say they trying to ruin this dude. Every chance they get, they trying to throw salt in his game. Excuse me. I know salt when I hear it. And they constantly throwing salt at this guy. They constantly taking shots. And I've noticed every time they try to use a black man or a black woman to try to get some type of commentary on Chris Brown. I mean, I see mainstream media, I know what they're about. And just by me even just doing YouTube videos or even doing videos that's considered news or related, excuse me, you got to watch what you put out. You got to watch how you say things, because you can sway people to think your way of thinking by saying things. I didn't really realize what mainstream media does until I started doing news-related commentary. I see what they do. Like I said, I've caught Fox so many times. Like, look at the video of I have up with Shadia Lane being interviewed by that lady on Fox. We all seen the video that led up to the uppercut. Now, when Fox had did the first video with her, he only showed Artist Hughes uppercutting her. That's it. And if you didn't know anything about it, you was like, oh my God, that big old, brute, he hit this woman. That's what you would think. But they didn't show before. So that right there was tell you a proof of how mainstream media try to make you think. They will do all kinds of deceptive practices and questioning to try to keep division going between even classes of people. They try to keep division going between Democrats and Republicans. They try to keep divisions going between male and female. I mean, they always trying to divide one way or another. And mainstream media is good at doing this, the way they edit things, the way they ask questions. And if you're not smart to game, you fall into it. But my personal opinion about Chris Brown is this. I don't know what happened in that car. It had nothing to do with me. The judge gave him the penalty, whatever he got. Move on with his life. But you don't hear nobody talk about Lindsay Lohan every 5 minutes. Lindsay Lohan's always in the news. She always getting in trouble. Always going to jail. But she's still working. Nobody's saying nothing about Lindsay Lohan. Now see, if I was Chris Brown, I'd have brought Lindsay Lohan up name in it. I would have brought up all kind of people's names. I say, well, what about Robert Downey Jr.? He was doing stuff. What about Charlie Sheen? He was doing stuff. But you won't stop talking about me. Oh, well, they didn't do what you did. They still did wrong. Like, who are you to judge me? See, Chris needs to speak up for himself. He really does. It's getting to a point that Chris Brown, you need to talk, brother. You need to speak up, because it's enough already. It's been years. And the more you stay quiet, the more they're going to keep doing it. Because they think, oh, Chris Brown a punk. He ain't going to say nothing. We're going to keep on picking on him. Mainstream media is a bully. They really are. If they got their eyes set on you, they're going to try to lock and load and keep beating you down until you respond back. But don't respond in a way like, oh, the typical angry black male. No, respond just in a way, just tell them, who are you to say anything to me when half of you cheating on your husbands or wives anyway? Know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm glad T.I. saw the game for what it was. And T.I. did not let this woman try to throw salt at Chris Brown and try to cause them to beef. Because that kind of question, he would have answered the wrong way. They could have been beefing at each other. There's no reason for that. I don't like to see brothers be at each other's throat like that. Man, there's enough money out here to get for everybody. You get what I'm saying? Now, Chris, you ain't heard nothing about Chris Brown beating no other chick. Ain't touched nobody. He's dated a lot of chicks. And a lot of chicks he's dating don't make the money he make. And it would be a good opportunity for them to make money. But he ain't touching nobody. So what does that tell you? Because most men who beat women, they constantly do it. It's not a one-time thing. Always remember that. Any woman been in a domestic violence situation can tell you that. Any man been in a domestic violence situation can tell you that. It's not a one-time thing. It's a constant thing. Anyway, I don't know. What's your opinion about that? Shout out to T.I., for being smart not to fall into that question. And, let Chris Brown live their life. That's them. They do what they want to do. You ain't going to stop them no way. Hit me up in the comments, future commentary, subscribe to the YouTube channel.